If you are worried about using pH neutral soups, soups?
Ta valise est prête, rends les choses faciles et sèche-moi ces larmes de crocodile.
What's up everybody, my name is Phil and welcome to Miranda Detailing, where we make satisfying detailing videos. And welcome to another weekend wash. So we're going to be taking care of our own vehicle today and talking to you guys about some detailing related stuff. So guys, today we're going to be talking about why we use a foam cannon. A lot of detailers use foam cannons and maybe for different reasons. Some people like to foam up their vehicle with a strong soap solution, their snow foam solution, to break down dirt, debris, grease, things like that before you make any type of contact with the paint. And that is excellent. Basically, the reason why we do it is that reason combined with, I guess, another reason, basically because putting soap on the vehicle ahead of time just kind of quickens up the detailing approach. So let's get to washing our vehicle and we'll kind of talk you through why we use the foam cannon, how we use it, and some of the benefits of it. All right, so here's our vehicle. Pretty gross. It was raining a lot this week, and on our road we have some mud, some potholes, so pretty gross. Some heavy buildup. Some bird poo. And this side is really bad. Oh, hi. E's gonna help. And this poor wheel is the worst of all. So let's degrease everything, get everything cleaned up. Now I had not washed it since the last video I made. This is just the rinse stage. So you can see it's still sheeting, and you want to blow off all the debris, all that heavy gunk first. So already it's starting to look nice. We'll come in and degrease a little bit more and agitate. but already the rinse stage takes care of 90% of it. Okay guys, so you can see already everything is foamed down. I'm gonna go ahead and start the wash process already because I already did a pre-rinse. I'm trying to preserve protection, so I'm not going to use the citrus washing gloss like you saw in the other bottle. I switched out to Chemical Guys Mr. Pink shampoo, which is just your basic pH neutral pink shampoo. I'm not worried about trying to remove traffic film. I wash it enough so that it's fine. I'm trying to preserve protection on it. So let's take a close look at when we put the mitt to the paint and basically kind of see what happens. So I don't have soap in the bucket here. I don't need it because I have so much here. But it's very easy to glide the mitt across. Lots of lubrication. And I'm not even putting any pressure, I'm just letting the mitt do the work. So with tons of lubrication on there from the foam, I'm not worried about causing any major scratching or damage because there's tons of lubrication here. That's why I use the foam cannon to put tons of foam on it. Now yes, it's drying up a little quick. I'm just moving slow. Again, I'm not worried about that. This is just for basically demonstration purposes and just to clean up my own vehicle. But you can feel the difference when you use a ton of foam on the vehicle. It's always smart to pre-rinse anyway and get the majority, and you're dealing with just light contaminants on the paint that don't come off with the rinse or the degreasing if you want to use that to degrease your paint, removing any traffic film. And really, when you have so much foam here, it creates a nice cushion. See all the air bubbles? When you have a lot of foam on here, you create a nice cushion and you don't have to put any pressure. Just glide it along. And it's going to push dirt and remove dirt without grinding it because you have these nice plush fingers in here. And then you can go and rinse it in your rinse bucket and continue washing. Now I like to wash about halfway down with this mitt, and then I use another mitt for the rest of it. The bottom portions, that is. And if it starts to dry up a little bit, you know, I'm just going slow just to show you guys. But usually there's a lot more foam on here because I move a little bit quicker. But I want to show you guys. The foam is going to build up in the bucket and it's going to build up in your mitt. So again, not a big problem, even if there's a few little dry spots if you are going a little slow, but not a huge problem. So all the top portions are done. Now I'm going to take my bottom mitt and I'll do all the bottom portions and bumpers and all the really grungy areas, because I like to keep everything separate. So you're not going to mix all the heavy gunk contaminants down here with the same mitt that you're washing up here. Most of your damage is going to be down here anyway. That's just the nature of the beast. All right, panels are done. So we will now rinse it and go onto the wheels. All right, so vehicle is rinsed. I'm also going to use the foam cannon to foam up the wheel bucket. So now you have all this foam. Makes easy cleaning. Makes the cleaning so much easier. And having all this foam ensures good lubrication, because your wheels are really going to get the bulk of the dirt and grime and junk. If you're interested in some of these tools, I actually bought this locally, but it's made from the same company that makes my little narrow vacuum nozzle. Nice bristles. Great for tire cleaning. These, I'm not really even using any wheel cleaner. I'm using the soap. I'm letting the soap really do most of the cleaning, because I already degreased it with Super Clean, diluted 1:4. And then when you go to the actual contact cleaning of your wheel, that's when you want a lot of this nice foam. The more lubrication, the better. And you can tell the tires are already pretty clean. Since I degreased them, nothing's really coming off on them. I try to keep these tires as clean as possible. And even though I live on a little portion of our road that's dirt, it's really not too bad. They clean up very easily. Now, I'm not worried about anything drying on the paint. Everything is actually sheeting off really well. But I'll get to drying in a moment. I'm not really worried about that, even in the sun. So she is clean and looking really nice. So the sides are almost dry. Everything just kind of sheets off. So we'll give it a little towel dry. So when drying, I like to use a damp microfiber towel. Not always a dry one, because if you have a damp one, it actually absorbs water quicker and makes it easier to dry. So these towels are nice, 16 by 24. I don't like any towels larger than this. I think these are easy to handle, very easy to handle. And these ones in particular, dry, really nice and plush. This side and the finer nap on the other side, but these are perfect for drying. Check out links below, or go on our website up here or over here, and you can purchase these towels. Just a cool little tip when you are drying and you're wringing out your towel, so it's all saturated now. With these larger towels, I kind of wring them out in sections. And then what I do is I'll fold it once like that, kind of grab it by the edges, and just give it a quick little whip. And what that does is it actually fluffs up the fibers again. It'll get all over your face, but that's okay. It's just a little bit of water. Don't go crazy whipping it, because you might ruin it, but you can see it fluffs up the fibers again. Even though it's damp, a damp towel absorbs more water, especially when it's been used a couple of times. Maybe a fresh microfiber absorbs water right away, but you wash it a few times and it kind of loses that a little bit, even though you're using vinegar wash and all the proper soaps and everything to clean your towels. But once you start getting it damp and wet, then you'll find that it absorbs water really quick. Alright guys, so that is it. So that's my thoughts on using the foam cannon for washing vehicles. Now, of course, I washed my own vehicle. It's a little bit of a different process when I'm washing customers' vehicles. So, as you've seen in our videos anyway, my wife and I will work around the vehicle rather quickly. We have a very efficient plan of action that we take for each vehicle. We degrease everything. We'll degrease the tires, rims, wheel wells, the door jambs, the trunk lid, underneath the hood, and after we rinse everything, we go back and degrease the paint. So that's going to remove any type of gunk and road film and grease and junk that might be on the paint that will basically come off with the wash. We foam it up, we hand wash it, we rinse it, and then if needed, do decontamination with iron remover or with tar remover, depending on what's on the paint. And of course, we either clay bar, use the clay mitt during the wash process, which some of you guys have said, doesn't that grind grit into it? Well, not really, because if you're using any type of contact on the paint, there's potentially a risk of grinding junk into the paint anyway. Same with using the clay bar. But the point of using so much foam is the lubrication part of it. So even if we wash it, rinse it, and we use the clay bar after, there still might be grit and things on the paint that either the clay mitt or the clay bar will still potentially drag across the paint. It's inevitable. That is just going to happen. It just quickens it up when you wash each panel, and then you can go right back over it with the clay bar or the clay mitt. and it just makes everything so much more efficient. But yes, if you wanted to, if you have that fear of grinding things into the paint because you just washed it and the foam is still on there, then if you feel like you have to do that, then you can just rinse it, refoam it, and then clay bar it or clay mitt it. But in our case, we haven't really found that to be the case. And when it comes to using the clay mitt or the clay bar, it's going to induce some sort of marring anyway. It's contact with the paint. It's an abrasive contact with the paint. So that's why we also machine apply wax. I've talked about that frequently. Check out videos up here on why we use the polisher to apply wax and we don't do it by hand. Not only is it quicker, but it actually lightly polishes the paint and removes any type of minor marring that might be on there from the clay bar or clay mitt process. So we do that all the time, and we really don't see any problems, any issues with it at all. It makes things so much more efficient. So if you haven't already, pick up a foam cannon. There are many different options on Amazon or eBay. I have links down below or on our website where you can purchase all sorts of different, tools and products, but I have one of the foam cannons on there as well. And this one I've had for quite a number of years, and I've actually done maintenance to it. You can open everything up. You can take everything apart. There's actually this little foam, it's not foam, but it's like a little steel wool mesh part that actually goes inside here if you take everything apart. And sometimes that gets clogged. That needs to be replaced maybe every 6 months, maybe once a year, depending on how much you use it. But that's actually what produces it. It mixes the air with the water and the soap, and that's how you get that thick soap. Now I basically turn this thing all the way, letting as much air in there as possible to let that foam get super thick and lush and really fluffy. That's what you want, is that thick foam to layer the paint, so when you hit that pad to paint, you have that nice cushion of foam. Basically, you're going to be just gliding across it and taking any dirt, contaminants, and junk with it. Having that amount of that thick layer of foam in between your nice plush mitt and the paint is just going to create a better wash process, and it will be safer and more gentle on your paint, which is what you want. If you are worried about using pH neutral soaps, and not removing road film, things like that, again, don't worry about that. You can simply just use a degreaser. Use Super Clean if you want. You can buy it like this, ready to use, buy it in the gallon, dilute it 1 to 4, 1 to 5, 1 to 10, whichever you want, and you can rinse your vehicle, spray it on the panels, do an APC wash. That's actually something I learned from watching Alan over at AM Details. Check out his channel. It is amazing. He has so many awesome tips, really beautiful shop, and really good products. In fact, we're going to be getting some products in because there is now a US distributor, Chicago Auto Pros. So Jason from Chicago Auto Pros actually reached out to me, and hopefully we'll be getting some more AM Detail products, which I am super excited about. Ding! That's for you, Alan, if you're watching, if you watch my channel. But anyway, I watch yours and appreciate all of the info that you share on there as well. So I'm really excited to be trying out AM Detail's products. I ordered their AM Trim Restorer, or their Trim Protectant, and also their clay bar, which I was really curious about. A lot of guys use it over in the UK, on the other side of the pond, and it can be used with water and you don't need lubricant. So I'm very curious to see what type of clay bar this is, how it works, how well it works. I know that Jim White from White Details uses it, Alan of course uses it, Chicago Auto Pros now uses it, and a few other guys. So very excited to try out those products. So stay tuned, guys. I'm going to be having some more videos on that and reviewing some of his products. Hopefully I can get my hands on almost all of their stuff. They have cleaners, that's AM Details, that is. They have their APCs, they have soaps, they have their clay bar, they have a glaze, they have waxes, sealants, wheel cleaners, their clay bar, they have windshield sealants, they have the trim sealant, they have wheel wax, they have all sorts of awesome stuff. So you can tell I'm very excited about it. I can't even talk straight. Alright guys, so I hope you enjoyed the video. If you had any questions or comments, put them down below. As usual, I'll try to answer those as quickly as I can. And if you guys have any other ideas for future weekend wash videos, this is basically where I try to answer some questions. I wash my own vehicle, show you some tips and tricks on what products and tools I use, and so share with me some ideas that you want to see in future videos. So thank you guys for watching. If you haven't already, please consider subscribing and clicking that bell. That way you get notifications each time our videos drop each week and you don't miss stuff. And as always, if you're interested in tools and products that we use, then click up here. That goes directly to our page. That goes directly to a dedicated web page where we have tools and products where you can easily see them, click on them, leads you right to Amazon so you can purchase them easily. And consider some of our apparel as well. So we have t-shirts, we have hoodies, hats, and my mug, which I use on every weekend wash, and I love it. Satisfying. So guys, again, thank you for watching. We'll see you next time. Take care.
Et sèche-moi ces larmes de crocodile.